but mighty. Huge full in to open it up. Beautiful double tuck, and that score really made a difference for Arizona on this first rotation.
Arizona ends up with a 49-150 as Hargrove goes 9-8-7-5. The 49-150 just about its season average, but because Stanford and Arizona State had trouble, Arizona sitting in second. Head coach John Court, now in his 25th season in the desert, joins us. And John, I know you challenged your group before the meet today. What did you tell them?
Well, we talked about, what are you prepared to do today to make Arizona better? And that is different for every single athlete on the team. There's no wrong answer, but it's something I challenged them with last night, and they certainly showed up and answered in the first rotation. It was a great way to start.
Well, you could feel the energy. They seem pumped out there.
Yeah.
Now you're heading to vault. You've made some steady improvements there. What are you going to tell them and expect from this event?
We want consistency right now. We want to keep the momentum going. We know that we want to be big in the air, but we have to control the landings. I say if you're going to aim small, you have to miss small, and just do the things we've been doing really the last 7 weeks, but most importantly, keep the momentum going and control the things that we can control. But it is exciting.
It is exciting,
Yeah.
and you can feel the energy. Every coach has told us they love Pac-12s. It's a four-ring circus out there, but how much does the energy play into what your team does on the floor?
Well, they're an energetic bunch, which is great, but they have to realize that when it's their time to go and salute the judge, they have to get in their bubble, they have to get in their own space so they can execute at a high level. But they're an enthusiastic bunch of gymnasts for sure.
Appreciate the time as always, John. Always great to see you. Best of luck rest of the way.
All right, go Cats. Thanks, Jimmy.
Go Cats. John Court in his 25th season. I don't know what I'd do if I walked into McHale for a gymnastics meet and didn't see John Court. He was there with Bill Wright. He was there with Tabitha. Ian was there, so yeah, it's just he is Arizona Gymnastics. Here's the scores after the first rotation. Arizona State just the 49. They were expecting something closer to 49-250. Stanford, because of the fall, ends up sub 49. Washington on the beam with a 49-325. That is an awesome start for the Gym Dogs. It ties, nope, just below a season best. But that is an excellent start for UW in Salt Lake City. Second rotation, we come back to the Maverick Center. With a 49-325, their second best total on that event this year. And it closed out with Kennedy Davis and her 9-9. In fact, Dia Moody went 9-8-7-5 and then Davis 9-9. And remember, it was Brenna Brooks who set the tone with the 9-9 as the lid lifter, and we've often talked about this. It's always the anchor is the most important spot until you get to beam. And then we fully believe that the leadoff sets the tone, sets the bar, the target for everyone else to shoot.
Absolutely. I mean, a 9-9 in the leadoff absolutely sets the tone, but she also has a calm presence, and you can just see that this was a great choice. Washington chose to start on the balance beam. They know they're good there, but now it's out of their way, right? Now they can go to floor where they can be aggressive. This has been an event where they're making slow and steady improvements, and when I had a chance to talk to the coaches, they said, when it comes to floor, it's about dialing in on our landings and our performance.
And we want to point out that Skylar Killer-Wilhelm also got a 9-9 in the middle of that order for Washington. So they end up with 3 9-9s and a 9-8-7-5. The low score was Bowles. Morgan Bowles went 9-7-5. So almost a dream start for Washington, and they have the beam behind them and moving to floor. Arizona State will go to the bars now, and this too has been a very good event for Arizona State. It is their best statistically. They're ranked 13th in the nation, a 49-3-5 average. They went 49-5-5 against Utah. It was the second best total in school history.
And Gracie Reeves with the huge Jaeger flip to start the routine out. I think for Arizona State, they need to block out. Their vaults were solid. They did not score well, but they just need to find the energy that they've had all season long, and that's how they need to start bars. Good for her.
Senior from Phoenix, Sunrise Gym, of course. Sunrise put out some pretty big names, haven't they? See one later tonight. Washington goes to the floor. Can they capitalize on that great start on beam? It's cold outside. We're at elevation right at the foot of the mountains. Let's go surfing with Emily Ennis.
Such a fun routine and a great way to start this rotation. She has energy and lots of personality. Opening with a front double full.
Stays in.
I think that's one of the challenges when the floor is on the podium, which is a stage. It adds some extra bounce. So when you talk to the coaches, they say we want to be aggressive, but we got to stay in control on our landings. We saw a lot of teams last year bounce out of bounds. So far, so good there for Washington.
Gymnastics, a true Goldilocks sport. Not too much, not too little.
Absolutely. It's controlling the adrenaline. My coach used to say nerves are good, but it's like flying in formation. Get them in formation and stay in control. Nice second pass. So impressive. As a freshman, Emily has been in the leadoff spot on really all 4 events. Today, I think we're seeing her in 3 events as the leadoff.
She's gone over 9.8 7 times. She comes out of Pittsburgh. She was in a gym, Gymkhana, and she had the same coach in the same gym, Ryan Schultz, for 16 years. So talk about consistency and a level of comfort. Emily Ennis, freshman for the University of Washington. Claire Dean opens with a 9.85 on beam. So that's a nice answer by Stanford. Bella Nishko now, who's a beam specialist, has gone over 9.8 6 times on beam. Scores have been rising since the mid-season, settling in.
Oh no. Performing that front aerial there, she wasn't even close. It looked like she wasn't even able to get her front foot down. Looks like she's gonna set up and repeat that element in combination, which means she doesn't have her tumbling series requirement either. She did do the 2 back handsprings. To last year. So you have to remember, for a lot of these athletes, it's their first time under pressure, maybe first time even on the podium. Definitely here at the championship.
It's been a good event for Stanford. They come in ranked 15th in the country. They average a 49.3 on beam. But it's the biggest meet of the year. Bars for Arizona State. We're still waiting on a score. Jada Mangahas salutes. Back-to-back 9.85s by Reeves and Samily. Now Mangahas can really help them here on bars. 7 times she's gone 9.8. She went 9.925 against UCLA.
High-flying pike Jaeger. Nice amplitude down to the low bar. Twisting double back and fighting for that landing.
This is Arizona State's chance to get right back at the top of the table. Mangahas had a 9.8 on vault in the first rotation. This will be better. Arizona will be on the vault, and this was moments ago. Caroline Harry, junior from Argyle, Texas. She had gotten 9.8 twice during the season against BYU and Utah, and here at the Pac-12 Championships, she matched it again with a 9.8.
Well, you know, you talk to the teams that have a lot of your Chaco layout fulls. They start from a 9.95. So going against the teams that have multiple 10.0 start values, they know how important those landings are, and that was a great way to start the rotation.
And so far, everyone is doing well. 9/8 or above across the board to start the rotation. Laura Navarro back on floor. And she'll have to hold up again as we wait for a score. Ennis got a 9/8 to start things off for the Gym Dogs. And that's Jeffrey Langenstein, who handles the floor for the University of Washington. He was at Lindenwood, a Division II school in St. Charles, Missouri, and that is where Jen Llewellyn made her name as a coach. Llewellyn won a couple of D2 national championships there, spent 9 years, learned the craft. The University of Washington said, we think you're good enough and ready, and they hired her, and they were right. Of course, remember Jen Llewellyn as Jen Kessler as an All-American at Oregon State.
You mentioned Jeffrey doing all the choreography. I asked him, tell me about these routines. He said, my goal is, to bring out the personality and unique traits of an athlete. Oh, hard to see. It looks like a yellow flag went up. If that's the case, there'll be 1/10 of a deduction for out of bounds.
She just couldn't find her feet on the sting mat.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if she was stumbling or she was trying to take small steps to try to stay in bounds. Of course, they'll take deductions for any steps plus the out of bounds. Nice landing there. Wow. She did it, yeah, she could have come up really short. She did a nice job holding on there, but...
It was that same corner both times.
Yeah. Almost looked like she ran out of steam there at the end.
It had been such a good event for her all year, always over 9/8. Had gone 9/9 a couple of times. Back to Beam and Stanford. Alexander went 9.875. Remember, Onishko with the 9.125, they got to drop it. Brennan Nault now. Brennan Nault's been on fire on Beam. 6 of her last 7, 9.85 plus.
She started the routine with unique mount. She has fun choreography. Saw solid backhand spring layout. Step out. Solid. Beautiful flexibility, dropping that head back on her ring jump. Dismounting with a 1.5 twist. Beautiful routine.
She kept it all together after she salutes. And she runs over to her teammates and her head coach, Tabitha Yim, who knows a little something about the balance beam as well. Pac-12 balance beam champion, 2-time Pac-12 and regional all-around champion, Tabitha Yim. Sarah Clark is next up as Jay Santos gives her final couple of reminders. We're waiting on the score for Emily White to come in for Arizona State. They went 49 in the opening rotation, so they're looking to bounce back here. We've talked about it before with gymnastics. You start with a grade score, which is 0 before you get to the arena, and then all day long it's just getting knocked down. And so it's like swimming against the current all day long.
Yes, fighting for perfection. I think that's what I loved most about gymnastics was hundreds and hundreds of repetitions until I could be perfect. never quite got there, but we've seen quite a few routines get to that mark or close to it.
So 3 9.85s, then Sharp's 9.8. So Sarah Clark needs to be 9.8 or above to help ASU in the rotation.
She's a beautiful bar routine. Clean lines, form. Great distance there on her Jaeger flip.
Clark has multiple wins on this event. Her last 5, all 9.85 or better, needs to finish it here with the dismount.
Nice lift, double out above the bar.
Oh, and she does that, doesn't she?
That's going to be a great score. Great way to finish this rotation.
That was money. Now, her career high in 9.975 came in that upset of Utah. Don't know it's going to get that high, but that's going to be a big score for the Gym Devils. Perfect timing. Earlier on the same event, teammate Hannah Scharf, who also has multiple wins on bars and coming in had gone 9.85 8 times. She also had posted a 9.975 against Utah.
She opens with combination work. Maloney back down to a pack salto, legs glued together. Finishes it full twisting double back. Takes that small hop forward. What a great routine.
Ended up with a 9.8. So it does improve the score because we're expecting Sarah Clark to get way over a 9.8. Back to the floor, Washington and Amara Cunningham. Cunningham great on her 2 events, vaults and floor. She was all Pac-12 on floor a year ago. And this year, maybe even better. 9 times has gone 9.85 or better, had a 9.975 against Arizona State. Been doing this a long time, knows all about it. Takes a moment to herself, just breathes, and goes over her routine in her head, and just waiting with an eye on the judges. 20 of her 22 scores, 9.8 or better. Washington, no room for error now.
She is dynamic and powerful. Opens with combination front through to double tuck. Teammates right in the corner, just pumping her up. And a clean double pike to finish it. Washington has had some lineup changes, so they still have 1 routine to go. Of course, that 9.475, the score they want to drop. But good for Amara picking up the energy.
And she'll be back on vault as well. Anna Roberts, 9.8. Nope, got a 9.95 on beam. Huge score. And Chloe Widner in the anchor spot. Got to drop that low score. And Stanford will have an excellent rotation on the toughest event.
Chloe's very aggressive on this event. Fun, strong choreography. And watch the height and her split on the weaves. She goes past a full split. Some limb series, I can't remember what else. Step out. lead to the right, but covered that well. Gorgeous. Again, pressure on, and the senior delivers. They had the fall in the 2 spot for Stanford on beam.
And now it doesn't matter. She's erased it. Cunningham got a 9-9 on the floor. Kennedy Davis. Davis has not been on floor much this year, only in the opener. He has done some exhibitions. It's a big moment here for Washington.
Front double full to a stitch up, and look how close she was
Uses
to the
every
corner.
inch.
Great performer. You can see in her facial expressions as well. Combination. Hey, she may not have been in the floor lineup that many times this season, but when the team needed her most, she just put together a beautiful routine and bailed Washington out because they also had a mistake in the middle of the lineup.
Second time today, she has done that already. That was a huge moment for Washington. It might not make a headline, but it could have been catastrophic for Washington early if she had not come through. Remember, they were trying to bump a 9-4-7-5. So Washington has put together a good beam rotation. 49-3-2-5. It comes back well over 49 on the floor. We'll do the math and come back and let you know who leads at the intermission.